Welcome to my introduction to executive functioning. In this video, we'll be looking at metaphors that help us understand executive functioning at large, defining this cognitive skill, and investigating the three core components. Being a New Yorker, one metaphor that I have used many times to describe executive functions is that it's like the Grand Central Station of the brain. Grand Central Station is a commuter railroad terminal in Midtown Manhattan with 56 passenger tracks and an average of 750,000 visitors each day. Watching all the people move through this extraordinary building reminds me of the electrical impulses in our brain. But Grand Central Station would never work without the executive functions of the people that coordinate, plan, and organize the complex schedule that is required to make this hub work. Another metaphor that can be used to describe executive functions is a symphony conductor. The primary responsibilities of the conductor are to unify performers, set the tempo, execute clear preparations, shape the sound of the ensemble, and to control the interpretation and pacing of the music. Likewise, our executive functions unify and make sense of the sensory input, sets the stage for learning, executes the processing of information, shapes our conscious and subconscious thoughts, and controls our attention and emotional regulation. Many people also like to use the metaphor of executive functioning is like an air traffic controller of the brain. Air traffic controllers manage the flow of aircrafts into and out of the airport airspace. They guide pilots during takeoff and landing, and they monitor aircrafts as they travel through the skies. Similarly, executive functions manage information and thoughts as they travel through our consciousness, guide our emotions and motivations, and monitor the input and recollection of memories. Finally, one can think of executive functioning as the management of traffic. Without the coordinated rules and guidelines, traveling on the roads and highways would be virtually impossible. So let's stick with the symphony metaphor. I'm going to call executive functions a multisensory maestro that is responsible for three core cognitive skills. Although not all agree on the complex makeup of executive functions, many have concurred, including the well-respected organization Understood, as well as Harvard and Stanford universities, that executive functions are made up of inhibitory control, working memory, and cognitive flexibility. Stanford also adds planning and organization as a fourth component, and I have included these along with a few other higher executive functioning skills at the bottom right-hand corner of this diagram. This is just a sample of my executive functioning coaching certification course at learningspecialistcourses.com. You can also find my executive functioning remedial materials at goodsensorylearning.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so others can discover these tips and resources too.